for this Zoom. Oh, yeah. Welcome here to this amazing book reading. How does it get any better than this? How are you, Lisa?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. How are you, More?
Yeah, I'm great. Even if it's Monday and in quarantine, how does it change when you choose to have a great Monday on quarantine?
Yeah, and actually, I, I, how can I say it? I almost forgot that it was a Monday, that it was
Yeah.
quarantine. You know, today it's been such an amazing day for me with a lot of
Yes.
sessions online and things to do. So being here is like having another party for me. So what else is possible? How does it get any better
Yes.
than this?
Absolutely, absolutely. And thank you for this space because I love this book. We'll show to the people. This is an amazing book that you can find this book in every language, actually. We're going to read it in English, but also, why not one day we can read it in Spanish? And for the moment, this is what in the language that we can read. So, but there are so many languages available. So why did we choose this book, Elisa?
Oh, because we love it.
Because
That is one of the reasons.
because
Yeah, because
because
we can
about
do it.
yeah, exactly, because we can do it. Because who would like to know anything or something about relationships? Are you sure you want one?
Oh, that's like a tricky question. So let's begin. Let's start. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm going to start with the introduction, if that's okay with you. So here we go. It says,
yeah,
so many people believe their happiness depends on being in a relationship. In truth, you don't have to be in a relationship with another person to be happy. You can simply choose to wake up happy every day. Relationship is not the source for creating your life. You are the source of creation. You are the catalyst of change. You are the one who can create the life you truly desire, and you are the one who created your life as it currently is. If you would like to have a great relationship, whether it is with someone else or with yourself, and haven't been able to create it so far, please don't give up. What if you made a demand of yourself and a request of the universe to start making different choices and stop judging yourself? No matter where you are right now, things can change. In the past, we both had relationships that were pretty awful and even abusive in different ways. So when we first got together, neither of us were willing to be in a relationship that didn't work. We made a commitment to use the tools of access consciousness every single time we got stuck. It hasn't always been the easiest thing to do. Some of the tools make us really uncomfortable, yet we have used them to create a phenomenal relationship. For us, relationship is not about security or safety. For us, relationship is about kindness and caring and always empowering the other person to be greater, even if that means they might leave. A relationship doesn't have to be forever. Every day is a new day. Every day is about what can we choose today and what can we create together. We don't not say that we have got it right because we haven't. We have the access consciousness tools, and we use them to create greater possibilities and greater intimacy every day. This book is about the pragmatic of relationships and how a relationship can actually work to your advantage. It is written from from both our perspectives, so you can have a man's point of view and a woman's point of view on being in a relationship. If you're looking for an answer, sorry, there is no answer. We don't talk a lot about love and romance. We offer many tools and questions you can use every day. Please know that no matter how grudgingly you use the tools in this book, they will work. Relationship is not always easy. And so we wanted to put everything on the table and talk about all the things that we have been and done. All the joy, all the fantasy, all the frustrations. We are willing to do this as an invitation to people to be true to themselves. You are one of the brave ones. You open this book, so take what you can from it, and please have fun with it and enjoy your relationship. Simone and Brendon. P.S. This book is written in the Queen's English. We are Australian after all. That is amazing. You know, when the first time I read this book and I read this introduction, for me it was like a, how can I say it, like a big awareness, you know, because there is a part when it says like something that stop judging, and a relationship is about empowering the other person to be greater, even if that means that they might leave. For me, it was awesome. It was like, yeah, it's true. It's creating something together, no? And maybe I'm going beyond. I'm going to stop a little bit now. But for me, it was like, yeah, that might happen, but that might happen not even, you know? So, okay.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Elisa, because today I was actually talking about this relation and how can we receive to other people, just putting all our barriers down and be in this space of permission when you usually, because we have these programs to react, you know, to some people or some point of view from some people. And how can we change that energy without even pass this through the mind, just changing the energy, only putting down our barriers, and also to be in this space of permission, just the energy will change and the people will receive you, so you can receive the people as well. So with that simple exercise, no?
Pretty easy. Yeah, but it's truly amazing how much can everything can change in a relationship just for being on that allowance, for being in that permission, for being in that space. That it's truly amazing. Okay, so let's continue. Chapter 1.
Yeah.
I expected to be single forever. Simone, how many great relationships do you see out there? I don't mean long-lasting relationships. I am talking about caring relationships where you empower each other to be as great as you can be. If you are honest, there are not very many like that. This was something I knew well. Since when it came to choosing bad relationships, I was not different from anybody else. In the past, I was well known for dating men who would judge me and my body. That energy matched the judgment I had of me. So if this man judged me and my body, then our judgments were the perfect match. I also wasn't willing to be vulnerable enough to admit that kindness and caring exist on this planet. So for years and years, I refused to have a relationship. It was easy to justify this decision because looking around, I did not see any great relationships. So why would I choose one? Somewhere in my universe, I expected to be single for the rest of my life. My desire was to create something that had an impact on the planet and change the way people perceive and judge each other. Since I love to travel the world, I thought I would have my own business, as I consider business to be the most fun and creative thing you can do. Travel and business were the two things in life that I desired most from my youngest days. I definitely did not want to get married and have kids. That seemed too hard. I never understood how you could look at someone and say, I would like to be with you in 20 years' time, in 50 years' time. You don't even know if you will be living in the same country in 20 years' time. My unassailable point of view was, I'm not doing relationships. ever. Can you hear the question in this statement? No, because there isn't one. It is a total and utter conclusion. Every conclusion is a massive limitation. Whenever you have a conclusion about something, you cut infinite possibilities out of your life. Let me give you an example. If someone has the conclusion that they are strictly vegetarian, they are creating a world of no choice. I am not saying they have to go and eat meat. If you are a vegetarian by choice, then every day you would say, I prefer not to eat meat today. I prefer to be a vegetarian. It is a fresh choice that you make each day. You don't eat meat, but you have not eliminated as a possibility from the menu of choices available to you. Similarly, choosing to be in a relationship or not allows greater possibilities in your life. By saying, I don't do relationships ever, I have eliminated the choice to have a great relationship, a nurturing relationship, and an empowering relationship. Now, I did not realize that I was functioning from no choice until one day when I had a conversation with the founder of Access Consciousness, Gary Douglas. I was talking to him about wanting to have sex with someone whom we both knew. Gary's response was, he's mean and he will judge you. I replied, no, he's cute and he's awesome. Also, it wasn't cognitive. This man would validate everything I had already decided was wrong about this. He was somebody who would judge me and my body the same way that I did. That was exactly the kind of person I choose to hook up with every single time, without thinking about why I choose this type of man. Gary kept asking me questions about this man who I wanted to have sex with, and the more questions he asked, the crankier and more petulant I got. Finally, I put my hands on my hips and said, great, so I just never get to have sex again? Why would you say that? Gary responded. He went on to list 3 people who he said would be eager to have sex with me. I shrugged them off because they had never even crossed my mind. Later on, I discovered my point of view was that anyone who was eager to have sex with me must be a loser. The very fact they wanted to have sex with me, I had decided was not appealing. Does that sound familiar? If someone didn't want to have sex with me, and especially if they were judgmental, I considered them as winners. There was a third group of people, the knockouts. They were men who didn't lust after me or resist me. They just didn't count. At some stage, I had created these categories in my mind and automatically put the men I met into them. Strangely, this wasn't something I did cognitively. I didn't base it on how successful they were, their looks and characteristics, or anything like that. Then Gary said, instead of wanting to have sex with this other person, you should sleep with Brendon. What? Why? I said. Gary replied, because then you will find out what it's like to be with someone who is kind, caring, and nurturing. Now I had only met Brendon about 6 months before that. He fell into the category of no count. Because if you have ever met Brendon, you will realize there is no judgment in his words. He definitely did not judge my body. Strangely, he was the one of the reasons why I was not attracted to him. I thought he was handsome and seemed nice. Then again, I met so many different people all the time. This conversation with Gary made me realize that in relationship, I had been functioning from no choice, even though I thought I was choosing to be with the men I desired. This was a huge awareness because I finally got to see how much my point of view had been limiting me. Since I desired to create my life from infinite possibilities, I knew I had to push down all my barriers to sex and relationships. I remember telling myself, oh, I have to be like Switzerland. I have to be completely neutral. I have to have no point of view if I never have sex again, and no point of view if I have lots of sex. No point of view if I am in a relationship or not. As things play out, I ended up having sex with Brendon. It took a level of vulnerability for me to do this, and from the first time, I was incredibly grateful. It didn't matter if we ever had sex again. I now knew the kind, caring, and nurturing energy I desired to have in my life. Yet I also didn't have a desperate need to hold on to Brendon if it led to something more. Great. The next morning, I told Gary, wow, you are right. It was amazing not to be with someone who judges my body as much as I judge my body. Before, I had never, ever looked for someone who was kind and caring. Kind, caring, and nurturing were just empty words to me. I had no idea what they actually were. To be honest, this was something I had not been willing to receive. I didn't think I was worth it. It may sound like a cliche, and yet I was actually living all of those cliches. From the beginning,
How,
yes.
no, how we can create, no, based in our point of view, how many judgment we do to ourselves, especially to our body, all the time, and how could we imagine that we can meet someone who doesn't judge us if we judge so much our bodies, and how this judge comes from, when and where we start to judge so much ourselves, and especially our bodies,
Yeah.
when we decide that some kind of body is correct, or I don't know, better than the other ones. What is that? No, because all of us, we are so different, and we have so many different bodies, and how we create a different body from judging our body every day. And of course, like this is, as Simone said, she had this point of view from her body, from not having any kind, any caring, and any nurturing her to herself. So she was creating that in the relationship all the time. So how different, no? How amazing, realize that you can change that relationship with you and with someone else just from changing your point of view.
Yeah, and also on change, yes, and also about changing our relationship with our body. In this case, it was Simone the first time to change maybe her relationship with her body because of Brendon, you know, because she allowed herself to be with Brendon and everything. But how is our relationship with us, with ourselves, with our body? Wow, are we nurturing? Are we caring? Are we kind with our body? Or we are just living like ignoring our body? Wow. And everything that brought up, let's destroy and uncreate it, please. Ryan Rounded and Bad for Podcast and Church Boys and Beyond. Yeah.
Yes, please.
Thank you. Yeah, and sometimes we said, oh no, it's just that I want somebody who can always see me and who can always nurture me and who can always doing everything for me. Yeah, but are you willing to do everything for yourself?
Exactly.
Wow. So what can we choose? What can we choose for our body now? You know, what can we choose for ourselves now? What kind of relationship do we want to have with our body? Wow. What can we create with our body? How does our body want to be created also? How does our body want to be listened? How does our body want to be, yeah, to be
Show.
heard, to be, yeah, to show also, you know? Uh, it is
Hmm.
amazing because we have so many conclusions or, okay, let's do it differently. How many conclusions and definitions do we have about the body that is not even our body? And if we allow ourselves to listen to our body, we could co-create a different reality.
Yeah, and if you are in an interesting point of view of your body and from you, you start to have such a nice communion with your body, and also you start to create your body as the perfect body as it is, because it's your
Mhm.
body. Actually, you choose your body, and your body choose you. Because when you do this exercise that we do it so many times in classes and in sessions, that we expand, and you realize you are this space. No, when you expand yourself, you are not your body. You choose your body, and you have this body in this reality, in this, um, incarnation. You say, I don't know if it's correct that word.
Embodiment.
Embodiment. I mean, in this incarnation. How do you say?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think
Okay,
it's embodiment.
embodiment. Okay, so how different will be talking about the body in the morning. Connect with your body, say thanks to your body, and start to be in relation with your body, and ask your body, well, what would you like to do now? What would you like to play? What would you like to create? So your body will be, oh yeah, she's talking to me. Finally,
Finally!
after 44 years.
Yes, and also, what do you want to wear now? And sometimes we look like a Christmas tree, you know, because we are hanging everything, you know, the earrings, the bracelets, I don't know how we call it, no? But everything, no, and maybe the most colorful clothes or
Yeah.
everything. And sometimes it is something that we had never imagined before that we can wear. But our body is saying, I do really want to. Wow.
Yeah.
And it feels alive.
I don't know why, but I have to say this, that when we met in Houston, remember, for Symphony of Possibilities, we had a shopping, like a conscious shopping, and we
Yes,
went
it's
there.
true.
It was so nice. It was so amazing to ask to our bodies, what would you like to buy, no, to put
To
on,
wear.
and
Uh-huh.
to wear, and sometimes we found different dresses, and well, I found a dress who was like a little tidy, and I didn't know, because I'm not used to, you know wear this stuff, before. Yes, maybe 20 years ago. Okay, my body was saying, yes, please. I remember you, that you say, it looks so well on you. How many judgments you have that this is not correct for you, because you don't have the body that you're supposed to wear, that you're supposed to have to wear this dress or whatever. So
Or
we
the
do.
age.
Oh, the age as well, no?
Yeah.
Because after, I don't know, 40, 45, blah, 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 I don't used to, show this part of my body, because it doesn't look very well. It doesn't look very well. From whom is that judgment?
Yes.
So I was really enjoying that moment with you, and all the dresses that we bought that day, I used them a lot. And every time I use that dresses, everybody is saying to me, oh, how nice this dress on you, blah blah blah. So how much communion we can do with our bodies every day, like, let our bodies to choose what to wear this day. Okay, well, maybe this dress or this shirt will contribute to you for having a nice day. This is crazy, because what? Are you asking to your body? Yes. Actually, yes. How does
Okay.
how does it get any better than this? That your body tells you where exactly what to wear, and actually when you put that, that it feels light for your body. Because how do you ask, Elisa, to your body? How do you notice that your body is telling you, yes, I want that dress today? How do you do it?
Oh, everything is, there is a vibration of my in my body, of my every molecule of my body are like, yes, 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 I don't really want to wear that, I don't really want to wear that, you know. And sometimes it, or sometimes it is like a, like the image, you know, like, oh, what can I wear today, body, what do you want to wear today? And then I got the exact image of the dress or the, or whatever it wants to wear. And sometimes playing it is like, oh, do you want this one? And it's, no, it is too heavy, you know. Okay, okay, I got it, you want this one? And it's like, oh yes, I do really want that. And it is amazing how even people look at you and like you said it, no, oh my god, you look amazing, you look pretty good, what did you do to yourself,
Mm,
you know? And it is because our body, or my body, it is so comfortable. It is like, oh,
yes.
thank God, finally it's hearing me, you know? So what kind of relationship can we have with our body that it could be the most expensive, wow, kind of relationship that we can have, or one of the most expensive, you know? Wow.
And expensive.
Unexpensive, why not? Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Bring me the money, bring me the money, bring me the money. Awesome. Okay, so do you want to continue?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Then, uh, from the beginning, Brendon and I had a lot of fun together. All the same, I never found myself wondering, is he going to call today? When are we going to see each other again? At the time, I was traveling regularly to America, so I used two mobile phones. When I was in the United States, I hardly used my Australian phone. As most, I check my message about once a week. If there was a text from Brendon, I will reply. I wasn't intentionally playing hard to get. I love my work and creating my life. At one stage, Brendon was thinking of flying to America to be with me as I had been away from quite some time. When he said that, I started to get butterflies in my stomach and I heard palpitations because he's really sweet, really kind, and so much fun to be around. Brendan and I have Brendan and I have lived together for about 8 years, and my life will not be as great as it is without him in it. The level of gratitude I have is for this very being. It is not for some monetary contribution. It is not the typical analysis of gratitude. That is what relationships should be based on, gratitude, not on expectation and projections of each other. If you if you look at the word relationship, you will find that is defined as the distance between two objects. And ironically, this is what the most people in the world end up creating. When you first meet someone, you are yourself. Then all of all of a sudden, or perhaps one month later of or 6 months later, you start to cutting off parts of you in order to stay in a relationship. How often do people give up doing the things they love because it no longer fits their new status as a couple? This reality says if you are in a relationship, you should do everything together. Oh, potty pock.
Parampak, parampak, parampak.
I see
Oh,
so
yeah.
many I see so many people use their relationship to diminish themselves to the point where they can't rely on anything else but their relationship. That is not what a relationship should be. Relationship should not be the distance between two objects. It should be a level of honoring of and gratitude for and vulnerability and allowance with the other person. The reason for being with somebody else is so that you can create at least 20 times more than you will create alone. Being in a relationship can be an expansion of your very being, just be just by allowing the contribution that another person is to you and your life. Not many people talk about that. So the chapter one, the tools from this chapter one are these ones. What are your point of view on relationships? Do you avoid relationships, pardon, do you avoid relationships since you can't see any good ones? Do you always pick partners who judge you and your body the same way you do? The level of gratitude I have is for Brendon's very being. So because this is something that as for me, in my relationship, every time that some pattern, some program start to popping up,
To pop up.
showing up, yeah, I remember this. No, when there is gratitude, there is no judgment. So immediately I remember this. This is so powerful because I have this person, my partner, in front of me, and I start, thank you, from inside. I don't probably say it to him in that moment because we're supposed to not having a good time in that moment. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for all that you do. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for all that you've been. Thank you for, to be here. So many things we create together. So start to be in this space of gratitude. You just avoid, you just don't have a judgment in that moment, and honoring the person who is with you. And it's true that if you are in a relationship with someone, and I could add here that if you are in a relationship with a friend, with a best friend, with a boyfriend, or with a business, if you can create at least 20 more times that you will do it alone. So that is a point, no? That is a point to see, well, what kind of relationship I'm creating now, or what kind of relationship I'm choosing here for this best friend, boyfriend, couple, partner, or even a business, no? What do you think?
Yeah, also about something that I love here in this chapter. It is about not on expectations and projection. I mean, wow, for me it is like something. It is like a key point. It is so not having expectation or projections with anybody. And not even with ourselves. We are. Oh wow, there are too many energies here coming. It is like, for example, how many projections and expectations do we have about ourselves? Well, everything that is, let's destroy and trade it.
Yes, please.
Right and wrong, good and bad, para about, outline, short, space, and beyond. And how many expectations, projections, conclusions, definitions, separations do we have about our husband, wife, partner, son, kids, parents, and with everybody. Wow. What if we can have, what if we can destroy and create every day a relationship?
Yes, please. Wow, that's
Good and wrong, good and bad, put and back, all men, shorts, boys, and beyond. And
I-
even the relationship with ourselves, you know?
This is something I do every day.
Yes.
I destroy and uncreate everything that I've been from yesterday, everything that I thought yesterday, everything that I actually everything that I've been from yesterday to today. I destroy and create every relationship I had with my body from yesterday to today. And I used to use also the pot and poke to destroy and uncreate all the relationships I have with my friends and with my colleagues for working, no? And wow, it's amazing the space that you create with that.
Yes, it is like every day, it is a brand new day, you know, with no expectations, no projections, or no,
No
no
definitions.
story. Yes, and no story behind. So,
Yeah.
wow.
Ooh, this is a much energy coming up.
Awesome. Okay, so let's
So,
continue. Do
yep.
you? Yeah.
Chapter 2. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Okay.
not it's not your child's job to make you happy. Brendon.
Mm-hmm.
Brendon say, as a young boy, it seemed to me that relationships were all about control and not about happiness. Interesting. Either the man control the woman or the woman control the man. Someone always control the other person. To the outside world, I probably look like a typical carefree Aussie bloke who loved drinking beer and surfing. But all the while I was growing up, my mom was in an abusive relationship with my dad. That was my first look at the relationship. Later, my mom got a new husband and I got to see a different kind of abuse. Although it wasn't as violent, there was verbal abuse and monetary abuse. There were so many fights and arguments over money that I began to hate money. By the time I was 18 years old, relationship didn't interest me much, except that for most of my life, I had felt like a round peg in a square hole. I was always looking at how I could fit into this reality, and having a relationship seemed like a good way of fitting in. Like most people, I learned about life from my parents. So what did I do when I decided to be in the relationship? I chose a woman who was a lot like my father, very abusive. Somewhere in my world, I had decided that if I could figure out the abuse, then I could change it. It wasn't cognitive or something. I thought through. How was the relationship? Awful. One of the things people do in a relationship is they thought it out. Sorry. One of the things people do in a relationship is they tough it out. We are often told you have got to stick it out. It is hard work. You have to work through things to have a relationship. No, you don't. If your relationship is not working, don't do it. That's it. Although I know this now, back then I didn't know and I had another choice. Even when this girl was not very nice to me, I decided to stay with her for 10 years. People usually have an agenda for getting into relationships, and my agenda was that if I could love my girlfriend enough, she will finally stop acting so crazy and love me back. I was not very bright, but hey, I got my beautiful son, Nash, out of it. The day I found out that Nash Mams was pregnant, I remember thinking, this is frightening. I have a girlfriend who I fight with all the time and I don't get along with, and now I'm going to have a child. My bizarre... Por en poc.
Sorry to interrupt you. It's just that it is, oh my God, how many relationships, how many couples, no, how many, relationships do we see around that they got married because it is the following step, you know, because it's what's next. And with the dream or the hope or whatever that is, or expectation of being together forever, just like my parents did, no? And suddenly you realize also that your parents were not a happy couple that you thought, you know? And it's like, oh my gosh, what I'm into, no? And then suddenly they're also like, oh my gosh, I already decided to get married with this person, so it like we say in Spanish, ya te jodiste, no? You already fucked up, you know, because that's what you choose. So everything that is, let's destroy and create it, please.
Yes, please. Right and wrong, good and bad, por and poco, all nine short boys and beyonds.
Pot and pack. Wow. Okay.
I continued, or you would like to continue?
Okay. Thank you. Listen, my bizarre logic was that by Nash coming into the world, she would see that I love her and our relationship would start working. At the time, I didn't realize that a huge unkindness it was to expect that my baby son will be the savior of my life. Is it ever your child's job to make you happy? No. As things turned out, when Nash was 4 years old, I left his mother. For 10 years, our relationship had been on and off. Every time we had a fight, I left her. Back then, I wasn't willing to live on my own or see the value in me. Instead, I looked to other people for validation. So I kept going back to my girlfriend. She saw me as someone she could control, and apparently back then, I liked to be controlled. One day, I finally realized this on-off relationship had to end. When I left my girlfriend that final time, I knew that I would not be going back. So at 30, I found myself living in my mother's house and sharing a bedroom with my 4-year-old son. I was so miserable. At one point, I thought, how can I not live through this shit anymore? Then one day, I saw an advertisement in the paper. It was a little pink advertisement that said, all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. There was a girl's name and her phone number. I knew I had to call her. When I went and saw this girl, she talked to me about something called the access bars. She explained that it was a gentle technique that involved lightly touching my head. At that point, I didn't care what she did because I desperately needed help. She got me to lay down on a massage table and ran my bars. Afterwards, I went to my car, but I didn't start. It started straight away. I sat there smiling for about 10 minutes. It was the first time I had felt truly happy or had really smiled in years. That day, my life started to change. I learned the access bars myself and I started going to more access consciousness classes. If you have ever been to an access class, then you will have noticed that there are a lot of women and very few men. Back then, my point of view was, if I got some more girls and more money, then I will be happy. How does it get any better than this? Yes. Okay. Anyone who knows me knows this is just not me. I knew a greater world was available. I just didn't know how to ask for it. I didn't know where to look for it. I didn't know what to do to get there. All I could think about was making my life slightly better by having more money and more girls. Fast forward 8 years fast forward 8 years and I am a little different. I recognize that what I desire is to create a better world. And I desire to be true to me no matter what that looks like. The truth was that I had spent my life sitting around and waiting for God to come and scoop me up. He never did. After going to several access classes, one day I realized that I had the tools to turn my life around, and I actually had to use them. It was time to get cracking and make different choices. That was another turning point in my life. I did not even dream back then that one day I would be facilitating access choice of possibilities classes around the world. In 2010, I met Simone at an access class in Sydney. From the time we met, I was amazed by the way she looked at me and treated me. She saw in me the person that I was still unwilling to see. Talking about me to other people, she would say things like, Brendon is so brilliant, he is so great. I used to think, who the hell is she looking at? I judged myself hideously all the time for not having a lot of money, for living in my mom's house, for so many things that I had got wrong. Simone was very different from any other woman I had met. For the first time in my life, here was someone who did not want to control me. She's willing to let me do whatever I want to do. In the same way, I am willing to let her do whatever she wants to do because I can see how great she is. What we have is something different, something and I have, Simone and I have not said. We're in love now, so everything's good. That phrase, we are in love, is a conclusion. It is a pretense that you are going to be together forever. It is the assumption that the other person will never hurt you and you can always trust them. How often do you see that working? Mm-hmm. Chapter 2 tools. Have you always known a great reward is available? Then use the tools in this book and start making different choices. One day I realized that I had the tools to turn my life around and I actually had to use them. Brendon. Wow, this is so amazing. You know, this last paragraph where it says the assumption that the other person will never hurt you and you can always trust them. And it is assumption, conclusion, there is no question in there. So,
yeah.
Wow, it is like, it is amazing, you know, because it is like, in somehow it is about not having guarantees. Yeah. And by the other hand, it's like also not having guarantees, you know, so you can use it in the way, or you can have the point of view, or you can have the judgment of, oh my God, this is never going to work, blah, 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 having like a conclusion, or you can have like the question, you know, for example, there is no guarantee. So what can I do now? How can we create a relationship greater than it was yesterday? What can we create together? So
exactly.
It is like a everyday, yes, it is an everyday construction and choosing not to be there just because it is what I have to do. It is a choice.
It is a choice. And also is the relationship in itself has an entity to ask as well to the relationship. You can ask your partner, how can we create, or what can we create from the joy, no, from the pleasure, and also to the relationship itself. Well, relationship, what can I do to you to be happier, to you to be
what do
easier?
You require? Yes.
What you require, because we don't used to ask to the relationship itself. We don't used to ask to our bodies. So, well, maybe we can do something different, just playing with that tools, just playing with these tools, and see if something could change, something could be easier and happier and funnier and more creative. So, because this is it, no relationship, creationships. They talk about don't having a relationship, having a creationship where you can create every day a new relationship. So, wow, how does it get any better than this? No lineal, no boring one, no just plain with full of definitions and making this distance, no? Wow, amazing how much consciousness in these two chapters. I think we can leave it for today and continue next day. When is going to be the next day, Elisa?
Well, I love this book, so I can do it tomorrow also. Oh,
Yeah,
how is your day tomorrow? Yeah, let's do it.
yeah,
Let's do it.
yeah. Let's do it. I will let you know, and I will let you know as well. What time? If it's the same time or 1 hour before or after, whatever. And yeah, let's do it. Let's do it because it's an amazing book and is being recorded, so we will put it in the YouTube channel, and also is being in Facebook Alive. So what does it get any better? How does it get any better than this? And I'm so grateful for you, Elisa. I'm so happy to do this with you. Thank you, Sandra and Vanessa, for being here as well. And what else is possible, my friend? Elisa, ahí estás. Oh, Vanessa is also learning English. Did you understand? Thank you. And have a great afternoon. I will stop the recording. Thank you.